Hello everybody, it's Jenn, Scrapbena Creations. I'm making an anniversary card today using the Sweet Stamp Shop Burning Love stamp set. I absolutely adore this stamp set. Now, if you're not fond of watching coloring portions of the video, you can skip ahead to about 3 minutes 50 to see how I put the card together. But for the next couple minutes, I'm just going to be sharing my coloring. So I'm using EB1, EB2, CT1, and GB8 for the little bride's hair. And I'm not doing any fancy hair coloring today, just layering on the color to get some dimension in the hair, not doing any flicking motions or anything like that. It's actually been a while since I've colored a non-critter image, so it was fun to practice my coloring again on these images. Now, the inspiration for this card, this is an anniversary card for my hubby, and we got married in Vegas. We had an Elvis at our wedding reception. I had actually had the Elvis come as a surprise to everyone, including my hubby, so it was a lot of fun. I mean, you can't have a Vegas wedding without an Elvis, right? So I'm just working on the hair here. I'm going to be coloring the images in whites and gold. So the Elvis who came to our reception was wearing a gold flashy suit. So I'm just working on the skin now, and my favorite combination is FS2, FS3, TN2, and then PP1 for the cheeks. These are Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. And so I just lay in the TN2, which is the darkest color, where there would be shadows, so around their hairline, neckline, anywhere on their hands or feet where there would be a shadow. So for example, her legs under her dress. And then blending those out back with the medium color FS3 and the lightest color FS2. I do come back and darken up their skin just a little bit, but I'm going to move on to the white on the dress. So I'm using my Copic markers for this. I'm using C1, C3, and then my blender marker, just so that there's a little bit of dimension in the white of her dress and her veil. And then I'm really going to blend that out with the blender marker just to really push back that color so that it actually appears to be white and not gray. So I also do the little Elvis, his suit in white, and then I'm going to accent him in gold. So just using this same color combination here and laying in some shadows and then using that blender pen as well to push back that color so the suit looks white. Then I'm going to be using GB8 for the gold. I find GB8 is the closest Spectrum Noir color to a gold color. And then I'm using my glitter brush marker in the gold color as well, just to add some sparkle. And once I had him colored up a bit, I felt like she was a little too flat. So I added some gold to the top of her dress and then on her little headband or tiara. And I'm going to add some major glitter to her headband so it doesn't get lost in the golden blonde color of her hair. So these little guys are to represent myself and my hubby. And I thought this card was so much fun. So I'm pretty much done the coloring here. Now I'm going to fussy cut them out. So I like to trim as close as I can to the image and then use my scissors to guide the cutting, making sure to move the paper as I go, as it gives a much more seamless cut. I like to outline the cut images after. I'm just using a black soot distress marker here. You can use any black marker that you have, just so that you can't see any imperfections in the cutting. So I'm using this fancy scalloped border from Lawn Fawn, and this is some foil gold paper that I just had in my stash. So I'm going for a very clean and simple, yet lots of gold in this card. So I'm just using my stamping tool here to figure out where I want that sentiment to go, and it says, "I would marry you again and again my king. So cute little sentiment. I absolutely adore this stamp set. It's just sweet. It has sentiments that you can use for weddings or anniversaries and other occasions as well. So it doesn't just have to be love themed. So I'm going to heat emboss my sentiment here. I'm using, I used VersaFine Black Onyx ink and then clear embossing powder. And I'm going to be using some shimmer spray here. That went really quickly. But just to add some shimmer to that white panel of the cardstock. Then I'm going to lay down the gold foil paper onto my card base. This is an A2 size card, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I'm going to adhere the white panel. Now I'm using lots of adhesive because I did spray that with the shimmer, and so it was a little bit warped, and I'm just going to really make sure that I press that down so that there's no warping at all. I'm going to do the inside of the card that just says Happy Anniversary, which comes in the stamp set. And I have popped up my little Elvis and bride on some foam adhesive. So I'm just going to place those down on the card. Then I'm going to get out my alcohol markers again. I'm going to use the C1 and the blender. And I'm just going to ground those images so it doesn't look like they're standing on thin air. Using my Spectrum Noir glitter brush marker here to add lots of shimmer, I figured Vegas, Elvis, and its bride, lots of glitter needs to happen. So all of the white gets some of the glitter, and then I'm using some gold stickles here to put on her headpiece, so that really pops it out from her hair, and it doesn't get lost in that golden color of her hair. And then I'm also going to put some gold stickles on his arm cuffs and on his little lapels, and then there is a little, I think it's a star in his belt buckle, but I just leave that with the gold Wink of Stella marker. So I'm using this Martha Stewart Heart Punch. I thought it needed a little bit more around the sentiment, so I'm going to add 3 hearts punched out of gold glitter paper. And I'm just going to adhere those down onto the card. I do place one on the inside of the card as well by the Happy Anniversary sentiment. And then I decided to take my black Wink of Stella glitter marker and go over the hair of the Elvis. It makes it really nice and black and pops out nicely. And once I get that finished, I also add it to his belt so that the blacks are nice and vibrant and match. And then I felt like she needed a little bit of a black outline, so I moved over to where the top of her dress meets the bottom and just placed a thicker black line there, just so that she had a bit of the black. And I also put it on the cuffs of her dress as well. So here's where I'm placing another one of the hearts onto the inside of the card just to finish that off. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I absolutely adore this stamp set, and I will be creating more cards with it in the future. Definitely love it. So thanks everybody for watching. Here's some still photos, and I will see you all soon for another video. Take care. Bye.